Now we're going to turn the page here a little bit. We're going to go from the pigskin to the round ball. What do you say? Let's talk a little Massillon Tiger high school basketball here on the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WGN. Let's welcome him in, the head coach, Josh Hose, joining us on the program today. Coach Jay, how you doing this afternoon?
Doing great, Sam. How you doing?
Hey, man, good to have you. I've been wanting to get you on, but you guys start a little bit late, and I thought, well, let them get their legs under them a little bit, get a couple games in, and man alive, you guys have really been playing well against a tough early schedule, and I know a lot of more tough games coming. But congratulations on the start so far. And I guess we'll start with last night. We'll maybe backtrack a little bit, and then we'll go fast forward. But what a game last night against the Lions. At Harry Fales, 81-77. Talk about that big win on the road last night.
Well, it was a crazy environment. I mean, I know you were there. We knew it was going to be, packed house. I watched the video of the, McKinley game from Friday. We had to go scout another game. So we knew Chet's got a program going right now. He's done a great job. They got, just people are excited about Alliance basketball, and he's got a really talented team. So probably one of the best players I've ever coached against in J.R. Jackson. He's fun to watch play. I told our guys, I said, man, that's a guy. He doesn't force shots. He doesn't get out of control. He always knows what he's going to do. And, we were content going in there and letting him not get easy buckets, which I thought we made him work mostly for most of his baskets. He's going to score. He's that type of player. We just had to really kind of get the other guys not to get going. We're fortunate they missed some open looks. We did a good job. I think they had 2 guys in double figures. We had 5, and that's kind of been our key to success is our balance. We get multiple guys in double figures. It just spreads the ball around, makes us tough. So it's a big win for us. On the road against one of the top teams in the state, I would say, in their division.
I want to read a quote from the story that Josh wrote in the repository last night. Quote at halftime, this is you. We were frustrated. We were getting into each other a little bit. We ripped them a little bit. We were down 2 scores. We had to calm them down and get back together. It was a multitude of guys that contributed. All right, what happened in that locker room at halftime last night?
Guys getting, sometimes you got to keep those things a little private, but it was nothing bad. We had to calm some guys down that were getting after each other, challenging each other. And it was healthy. I mean, in the long run, it's best friends, that care about winning. It was nothing, that's the thing is like, it wasn't guys arguing about, I'm open, you're not passing the ball. It was guys like, hey, we need you, let's go, trying to get guys going motivated. And it was healthy in that way. Just young kids don't always have the right tone or context, but we calmed them down. And then I ripped them to get them mad at me maybe a little bit, not at each other. And then we regrouped. And at the end of it, I said, guys, we're down 2 buckets. Like, it's we're sitting here with guys with a couple fouls that we had to sit. And but when you play competitive sports, all has been in that locker room. Everybody wants the same thing ultimately. And like I said, it was healthy. It was towards winning. It wasn't anything contrary to the team goal.
Oh, no doubt. And you know what? I'd rather have it that way. I want guys that are hungry, that are passionate, that aren't afraid to, you know what I mean? You want dogs like that in the locker room, and you definitely got them. Josh Hose is our guest, outstanding head basketball coach of the Massillon Tigers. Another win last night. They beat the Aviators 81-77. We're actually going to carry your game against Canton Central Catholic Friday night on Q92, so we are looking forward to that. First time to see you up close and in person. For folks that have not seen you play this year, talk about your starting 5 and a couple of guys that get off the bench for you and go out and really keep that drink stirred on the floor. Tell us about it.
Sure. Well, we had an 8-man rotation last year, and we lost 2 key pieces. Obviously Chris Knight, our second all-time leading scorer, program history. All kinds of accolades from last year. Chris is up at Mount doing great things. So knew we had big shoes to fill. Terrell Keys, they were our 2 outside threats last year. But we knew we had a lot of experience coming back. So when you talk about our seniors, Jada Stigton's been a starter for us since his freshman year. Brings a wealth of experience. Isaiah Lamp, starting point guard for us last year, played a lot for us as a sophomore. Zay he played a great game last night. He had 4 points. But he had six steals, a bunch of deflections, some key steals in the overtime. Like, he's just so good on defense. He actually was late in the year last year because he had a hip injury and wasn't 100% as we made our tournament run, and it definitely showed on film when we got into some games late in the year where he wasn't able to guard like he can, and he's so disruptive. Jadis, he's been a scorer for us. He's on our all-time scoring list, climbing the charts right now.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys, we lean on them a lot. Then our terrific junior class, Xavier Williams, Braylon Gamble, Gio Jackson. Again, all guys that were playing as freshmen. And, Gio and X played a little bit earlier because Braylon had some oral surgery done his freshman year. So he got a little delayed start, but he came on strong at the end of the year. He's our vocal leader. Braylon, as a freshman, showed the ability to lead with his voice, and which has just impressed me to have that confidence and go in there. And that's something a lot of teams miss. I know we were missing it for a few years. So, he's bringing that to the court. He's our guy. He's a stat sheet stuffer. He flirted with a triple-double last night. 14 points, I think 8 rebounds and 8 assists or 9 assists or something, vice versa. X has been our outside guy, but he can get to the hoop. He's a great defender, and then Gio is just a special. I think he had 20 points last night. He's the quiet 20 guy. He goes out and gets 20, right. 22, but he's doing it on like 8 or 9 shots. He's probably shooting around 80% right now. Last year, I think he was around 75% from the field. I kind of joke with him. You need to shoot more, but he's just like, he probably scored 20 points last night and probably didn't dribble the ball 20 times. He plays off the other guys. Braylon and him have been playing together, and X, they've been playing together since like first, second grade. So they just know where to find each other. So they're fun to watch. Those 5, we're not big, but we're not small. They're lengthy and they can guard multiple positions. Isaiah guards post guys really well as a small guard because he's smart and he puts himself in good spots to be successful. So those 5 have carried a lot of the minutes. And then we have a sophomore as our 6th man off the bench, Terrion Wells, who he's coming on strong at the end of last year as a freshman. We got him some minutes here and there, but he's got a huge basketball IQ. And I think that I told him, dude, you play better. When we were up bigger on Elyria, he didn't play as well. But when close games, I mean, the kid almost thrives in those moments. And it's the weirdest thing. And he laughed. He's like, yeah, coach, I think you're right. I mean, if we're in a 5-point game up or down, he's at his best. And, it's pretty impressive for a young kid to be able to do that. And the fun thing with all 6 of those guys, they're interchangeable. I mean, they can all handle the ball. They can all guard. They understand the game. It's probably the highest basketball IQ group I've had in my 8 years there. So, those guys are rotational. And then our key guys off the bench there too are like Marcus Garner goes in last night as a big for us and, gets 4 or 5 rebounds, plays big, in a few minutes. Like, it's just key minutes here and there that he's playing. Isaac Maxheimer and DeMarion Day, that, their minutes, from game to game change, but that 8 is our core group right now. They're doing a great job playing together and just kind of adapting each game. Last night Xavier fouls out in the 4th quarter, so we had to finish with our second or our first leading scorer on the bench. And guys just picked up the slack and they played together and figured a way out to get a dub.
We are talking to some Massillon Tiger Hoops today. Josh Hose, the outstanding head coach of the Tigers, joining us here on the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN, and all across our social media platforms. The Tigers 6-1. They will be at Canton Central Catholic Friday night. We'll have that on our sister station, 92.5 Q92. Coach, you got some. You're going to start to get into a rhythm here now. Because you're going to be playing at least twice a week, some 3 times a week coming up here. It'll get you cooking. You Mansfield down the road, very good Ursuline team. Perry has turned out to be a pain in the butt again this year. Hawken, you'll be at the Battle of the Berkey over in Smithville. McKinley down the road, Jackson down the road. Your schedule kind of gets you ready for things to come, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Being an independent, everybody knows that story.
Yep.
We've been fortunate to be able to get some games and build some relationships with some programs around here. Very local flavor, but we have some other, teams that are on there, like you mentioned, Hawken and Mansfield, new to the schedule. Last year I felt, the end of our season wasn't by design. We just had to move a couple games around because of football and different other people's schedule issues. We didn't have a a strong schedule down the stretch at times. So I think, my idea was, I look at Perry, like last year, Shaker, we lost to Shaker,
Right.
has the number one strength of schedule going into the tournament. And I told our guys that, like, hey, listen, their record's deceiving because they play Menor, they're playing Medina, they're playing Strongsville, Brunswick twice a year. So, I think I saw that last year, like I said, Perry playing, their tough schedule in the Federal League. Like, we need to find ways to challenge our guys almost on a nightly basis. They can't relax and have a, not an easy win, but like an easier challenge
Sure.
to get that, our victory. So, and with the experience talking about that earlier, like I knew this group can handle it. And, it's challenging as coaches because we're scouting 22 different games. Coach Creamer, is doing that over at Central as well. But yeah, I mean, it's a good schedule for us. It's spaced out a little bit. February gets a little bit jammed up there, the beginning of it. But that's probably a product of the little bit later start. But yeah, that was designed hopefully to get our guys geared up to, hopefully make a deeper run this year.
Yeah, February you go 1, 3, 7, 10, 13, 14. I mean, you got some games coming up, and the nice thing is you're going to get some home games, back to back to back here soon, and that'll be good as well. Discounting the Alliance game, because we talked about what a fantastic game that was. Your previous ball games, which game were you most pleased with from your guys? Was it the Elyria game? Was it Walsh, CBCA? Which one would that be?
Well, I think they all had an element of seeing aspects where you're really pleased with the squad. Even our loss to Hoover, showed some signs. You guys were on that one, or I can't remember.
No,
I saw Foster in the stands.
Right. Yeah, right.
That's right.
That was holiday time. We were off that night. Shooter over there, he was reporting for us.
Yeah, wearing his Hoover stuff. So go to your question here. I think the one really that kind of set a tone for us was the CVCA game.
Okay.
Knew they were good. Knew they were good on film. Saw them live. But then you see them like on the court with you. You realize how good they are. They got size. They got speed. They got athleticism. They got depth. So we go up there in a tough gym. I haven't played up there or coached up there since I was at Tussall coaching the girls. So always was a tough gym to play in. And we get down 18 going in the fourth, and came back and won by 5. And just saw something in our guys there where we kind of fell apart second and third quarter, got away from what makes us, be our best. And in that fourth quarter, we just flipped the switch and focused on just getting stops and quality shots on the offensive end, and we started turning them over and kept our composure, and it came back and got a big win on the road, and then turned around and you go against Hoover, and we get down 15, came back, took the lead. They hit a heck of a shot at the end of the game, and you tipped their captain, Newell. I mean, he's a great shooter, and he hit a shot and go with that one, and okay, you don't like moral victories, but at least we showed the fight to get back into it. Last year they took it to us. And so that was a challenge because I'm like, it could have gone that way about halfway through that third quarter. But our guys rallied, and so there's a lot of good there. And then you mentioned the Elyria game. We played a really good game that came out and got it going early. Obviously, 108 points. I think it's a school record. Not something we anticipated going in. They're a very talented team. So, and then I can go back to the Fitch game where we didn't play. We were kind of flat. We had some guys dealing with some getting over some illnesses, coming off a big win, and we get down 11, and they're feisty. They just beat Warren last night,
right?
And going to the fourth quarter down 11, came back and found a way. I think we ended on an 11-0 run to win that game. So I don't like living that way. I keep telling our guys this is not how we want to play. But even last night, like you said, it's a grind to win games in the Stark County, and so each one of those victories has had an element of showing something about this team that's been really encouraging as a coach.
No doubt. 6-1 start, off to a tremendous beginning for the season. Coach, we appreciate you coming on today. We'll see you over at CCC on Friday night, and we'll chat then, okay?
I can't wait, Sam. Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
You got it, brother. There he goes. Josh Hose, the head basketball coach of the Massillon Tigers, joining us here on the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN. Don't forget, Tigers Crusaders on our sister station, Q92, Friday night, right around 7.